Hello everyone, Namaste and Ahoy. Welcome back to my channel. This is Earth's Side. So in today's video, we'll be discussing about the case study of Delhi pollution problem from the perspective of public policy. So in this video, we'll understand that why delimiting the problem, or specifically public policy problem, is necessary, and what actually is delimiting the problem, and what are the consequences of not delimiting the problem, such as we will discuss them in the following slides. So Delhi pollution can be the pollution in Delhi, air pollution mostly in Delhi, can be characterized as a social problem. That is because a social problem is a problem where mass community or huge number of individuals in a society are affected. So as you know, Delhi is the second populous city in the world, and the hazardous air pollution is affecting many people in the city. Now it is also a public policy problem because a public policy problem can be characterized when you or we or the government or the institutions have the tools to solve the social problem. So for example, coronavirus pandemic was a major health and a social problem unless and until the vaccine was invented. Now since the vaccine has been invented, the coronavirus is the public policy problem, because now the policy experts need to find out how to make sure that vaccine reaches to the whole of population so that the virus gets defeated. So this is a difference between public policy problem and social problem. Now in case of Delhi pollution, it is a public policy problem because there are existing institutions, there are existing tools and mechanisms to solve this problem, be it technological or governance perspective. Now you see in the graph on the left hand side, bottom left hand side, see there are only few months in the year where the levels of pollution, air pollution, spikes up, right? And these are mostly the month of October, November, December. Now in order to understand Delhi pollution problem from the perspective of public policy, we need to see what are the main actors and institutions involved in this scenario. So the main actors are farmers, and you will see how, and the public, the individual, the society, politicians and political parties, and chief ministers of states involved in this problem. Then there are also important institutions, for example, the Honorable Supreme Court, the National Green Tribunal, the Central Pollution Control Board, and the government. Now we will see that what are the factors that lead to the pollution in Delhi, right? So there are two branches of factors. The first one being inside the city factors, and the second one being outside the city factors. Now if you see in Delhi, the population has been rising constantly over the past 10 years. Now the situation is this, that Delhi is the second most populous city in the world, and also with increasing population there is also increasing vehicular mobility. More and more people are able to afford the car, and these vehicles are run on conventional sources, petrol and diesel, which also causes pollution. Then there are also increasing industrialization on the outskirts of the city, the depletion of green cover, and increasing apartments and high towers. So these are the factors which are leading to pollution in the city. Now when we come to the outside factors, the major outside factor is the open fires. Now you see the bordering states of Delhi, Haryana and Punjab, they are known as the breadbasket of world, or of India, sorry. As you know, they are the major producers of wheat, right, and other food grains. But you see, there is one unique law in both the states which prevents farmers to not to start farming only in the month of June. That is because they need to manage the water table uh, of the two states, because when the main occupation is farming, farmers use a lot of groundwater, right? And to ensure that there is enough groundwater level, the farming usually starts in the month of June, because in the month of June and July, the rainy season starts, right? And when the farmers start their farming in June, the harvesting time comes only in the month of October. But now the problem is this: after you harvest your crop in October, the next farming season is coming soon. That is in the month of November. So the problem is that after the harvesting in October, there is a lot of farm stubble left on place, and the farmers need to get rid of it quickly, because they need to start their next farming season in the month of November, right? So the easiest solution which farmers have devised is burning of this waste. Now, the problem is not burning actually. The problem is that burning at large scale. Okay, and also the other problem which arises with burning of farm stubble is that during the same months of October and November, what is happening is that there is a flow of low cold mountain air from the Kashmir region, from the Pakistan region towards Delhi, from Punjab and Haryana towards Delhi. And what it does is that that cold mountain air brings along all the fire and the pollution caused from fire towards Delhi. Now, another issue problem arises when the air does not have a space to go anywhere, because the flow of air flows towards Delhi, and there are Himalayan high mountain ranges on its west. So all the fog and the smoke, it actually collects over Delhi, and it envelops all Delhi during the month of October, November, and following 1 or 2 months. But so this is the core problem. Okay, now this has been the case since 2005. It is not a new case. Okay, this has been the case since the law in Punjab and Haryana was actually implemented. But even though this is over decade old law, or sorry, problem, why are we not able to solve it? Okay, so in order to understand that why are we not able to solve it, we need to see some public policy, see it through the lens of public policy. Now, let's see what is the relationship between social problem and policy problem in case of Delhi pollution. Now, and in case of Delhi pollution, it is not perceived as urgent by the public, because the problem is only for the month of 2 to 3 or maximum 4 months, and then again throughout the year the pollution is the air quality is poor, but it is not worse. Okay, so the problem does not exist throughout the year, and it is not perceived urgent throughout the year. Okay, now but as a policy problem, the issue is that when the problem is not perceived urgently by the public, there is no political pressure on the parties and the government to rectify this problem, to cure this problem. So the issue why not able to solve, because they are weak institutions, weak environmental institutions. For example, Central Pollution Control Board or National Green Tribunal, their powers and authorities only go till the extent of directing orders, but they're not legally binding on the government, be it state government or central government. Okay. So daily pollution can be characterized as an unstructured problem because uh, first of all there is uncertainty about the relevant knowledge and the research. Secondly, there is no consensus on relevant norms and values attached to this problem of daily pollution, and we will see how. So uh, in context of values and norms, the problem is that the source of major pollution is coming from the states which are very far, where the main occupation is farming. And you see, the political leaders of those states will never do anything which will hurt the sentiments of farmers because, firstly, it's the main occupation. Secondly, the vote bank. Thirdly, the economic reasons, right? The law was created by the government and to prevent the depletion of groundwater level, right? So the and on the other hand, the case of Delhi is that they can't do anything. They can't go to farm fields in Punjab and Haryana and stop them to not to burn, right? Then second problem is that the reason why this problem is unstructured is because the uncertainty of relevant knowledge, right? So then there are no major studies conducted at how much farming, how many farmers actually burn this stubble, how much farm stubble is burnt, and even if the research is done, it is not in public domain, right? How much expenditure is needed to obtain that technology so that farmers doesn't have to burn it and we can recycle it or we can reuse it in some other way. So now the problem is this. Now the consequential problem is this, that in Delhi there are a lot of campaigns run during the hike of air pollution, such as switch off the engines on the traffic lights or start sharing car. Now that is not possible in time of coronavirus, or start using public transport or start using metros. Now you see when chief minister of Delhi urges public to use public transport gets overloaded, right? So I know I'm not condemning these measures taken to reduce the air pollution, but the issue is that these solutions are not based on correct policy decision making, because at the back end there is no point in implementing these temporary solutions, because the major source of pollution, as we have seen earlier in this, you see in the on the bottom and the pie chart and the graph, the major source of pollution is open fires, right? So again, the problem comes that the problem is still existing. The daily pollution problem is still existing because the problem has not been delimited correctly, right? The delimitation of problem means that you need to understand and analyze the problem, because public policy experts say that if you delimit the problem correctly, half of the solution is already done. Okay, so every year what is happening is that the pollution in the month of October, November, December and January, the air pollution spikes up. Policy decisions are made which are temporary in nature, right? It is either implemented, or it is not implemented. For example, the Supreme Court of India has already given directions that open fire in the farming, on the agricultural fields, should be banned. It is banned actually according to Supreme Court verdict, but it is not implemented, right? Because the problem is not delimited. The problem is also on the side of farmers. But will they do because they don't have the necessary technology to get rid of that farm stubble, right? So that is why now we see that the delimiting the problem is necessary, and for delimiting the problem there is a need for relevant knowledge, there is a need for research, there is a need for values and consensus on norms and values, so that the problem becomes structured. Because after you delimit the problem becomes structured, then you have a concrete, then you can move forward with the concrete solutions. So when the problem is not delimited, of course, if it is not delimited, then it will not be on high political agenda. If it will not be on high political agenda, the problem will never be solved. And this is a case that the problem is never solved. In my view, the problem will only be solved when, and it is all in joke. This one is in joke. So according to my view, the problem will only be on high political agenda, or it can only be solved when the elections of state government are kept just after the end of high pollution season, that is in the month of maybe November or end of December, because only then political parties, be it at central level or be it at state level, they will be incentivized to ask that now we have improved the pollution problem, now you give us vote in our favor. Of course, this is when this one solution is in joke, but I think it could be an effective one, right? So now seriously, from the public policy lenses, the problem can be solved only when we delimit the problem first, right? When we delimit the problem, it gets high on political agenda, we make the right policy decisions, we use the public policy instruments correctly. Okay, so I think this is all from my side, and I hope you learned about the problem of daily pollution in which we are living for a very long time now from the perspective of public policy. And I am in hope that this problem can be solved immediately, and if youngsters are given the opportunity to solve it, I think they will do a good job in that. So that is all from my side. I hope you liked the video. I know it was quite detailed, but I think the problem is serious enough to be explained in detail, of course. So happy learning. Meet you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.